3 kali.
Belum pernah ke belakang.
Labnya mau jadi.
Oh iya,
yang di pojok kayaknya. Ya rencana mungkin November anak sudah pindah.
Udah masuk ya?
Iya.
Udah bisa di situ ya.
Yang di lab biar untuk kelas 10. Basic. Pemesinan dulu.
Dia ini saintis yang mengkonversi supaya orang-orang yang membutuhkan khusus itu bisa motong. Jadi itu betul-betul lagi pohon itu bisa terjadi. Kemudian dia juga ikut bantu di militer.
Misi kamu dari Amerika.
Oh, enggak.
Everyone gets a lathe. That's amazing. So even when I was a kid, we had one. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, we had one, maybe 10 of these, but for the same number of tools. Yeah. So you would get time. You would often stay at school late, like to 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I had time to use the tools, and we had so few. Yeah. You have more. So even in China. Yeah, very few places have this much. So pretty much. Do you know what the things reactor? That's a
Nanti minta 5 anak yang bisa bahasa Inggris untuk ikut workshop. Jam 1.
Apa sih bisa?
Ilmuwan kan.
Selamat siang.
Good afternoon. Ngewangi boleh? Kira Pak, saya diwangi boleh? Oh sudah. Pas workshop dulu ya.
Teach him how it works right now. So, this is
gimana gitu.
Jam 1.
Acak aja enggak apa-apa.
But if you're doing it manually,
Karena beliau ini kan ilmuwan, nanti bisa sharing cerita.
and then drill from top
Ya.
gawat, and then you'll program it differently if you use it. That's what helps. Absolutely. So this is the best way to do it. Yeah. When I meet young students that have not had this experience, I can watch them, and they waste time and they waste money. Yep. That's the important. So this is the best way to do this. You learn it from the bench, then this, then that, and then you learn each step, and you got it, and you will be faster. And the young kids, the younger kids in America, I watch them like, this is going to take 5 hours. It should be 10 minutes because they do it wrong. They didn't get the lessons here.
Kasih service. Ini bagus banget. Jadi anak-anak ini belajarnya dari manual itu. Kalau mereka bisa ngerti manual ini, kalau ini kan yang ngerti programming kan.
Iya.
Nah itu dipadukan dengan yang programming itu bisa jauh lebih cepat. Biasanya kalau bikin itu bisa 5 jam. Mungkin dia cuma berapa belas menit, 16 menit. Jauh lebih cepat. Yang penting tahu dulu cara memotongnya, gabungnya, langsung dengan kalau di alat ini kan nggak, kita harus programming dulu gitu. Nah itu
Yang fence work ini menghilangkan ya Pak materi ini?
Enggak, kerja bangku. Enggak, tetap ada. Kalau kerja bangku itu kan materi basic untuk permesinan. Memang wajib itu, harus. Sampai di perguruan tinggi pun, katakanlah di ATMI yang paling bagus teknik mesinnya kan kerja bangkunya 1 tahun. 1 tahun.
bangun apa nih?
Kerja bangku, ini benchwork ini. Nah ini memang basicnya orang mesin ya ini.
Oh.
Jadi melatih skill ya feeling, keterampilan tangan. Jadi sebelum ke mesin harapannya anak-anak itu ya dia menguasai di pekerjaan kerja bangku supaya feelingnya dapet.
Manualnya tadi.
Ya.
So, in here, they hope every student learn from the manual.
Absolutely.
After they know how to do the manual, they will know how to practice.
Kalau di sini di kurikulum baru
in America, there's
akan
skipping this now. Right. And I think it's
I was
bad.
there.
kelas 10.
I was there. When they don't do
Because, well, how big is that room? How big is this room? How much use these machines? You can get rid of all of this, just have that, and they think they're saving money, but it ends up costing them more because they don't have the knowledge. People do this a lot in a lot of countries.
Amerika. Amerika. Ilmuwan.
You tell them that they're doing this the right way. This is correct.
ya kalian udah, dia bilang ini udah yang kalian lakukan udah bener sih.
Oh gitu.
Gitu. Termasuk nanti
Yeah. The more they can get, the better. The more things. I'll say this. Okay, so that college that I mentioned earlier that I teach sometimes, one of the topics was they were learning CAD. So they're computer-aided design. They were just learning just CAD. But when I came in to see the students, some were young and some were in their 40s. And then I realized, they're learning vocation. This was not just learning CAD. They were learning their next job. I was going to talk about CAD. I ended up talking to them about what shirt to wear to an interview and what's going to impress people on your resume that must be real. And that's going to come back to this. I explained to them, you must make your own invention, something you want to fix. I want to make a better connector for that speaker. Pick it, you alone, not one person, go do that. This person fixes the fan. This other person makes a better doorknob. Find something that matters to you, know it inside and out. And the third thing I taught them is metric, because this is America and no one learns metrics. And I said, if you don't put metric on your resume, any other engineer will not respect you. So I ended up talking about those 3 things more than CAD, because now I understood what the students needed. And so yeah, so you say 8 hours here. All I can tell you is, it's not about the 8 hours. It's about each one student doing something that matters to them. In fact, making like that lamp, the metal bar holding that lamp, can they make a better one? That's their tool. Take the tool and make it better. In software, this is what we do. So when we make software, if you're the one making the software, fix it. Don't just assume that's the best tool. You're here making tools. Make your own tool. Make your own tool. And I want actually all colleges to take tools, and then when they graduate, they go to do business. The next students take this and make it better. That lathe has not changed in 50 years. I like to fix it.
Bukan masalah anak-anak pakai ini 8 jam, tapi bagaimana dia melatih terus itu gitu. Dan dia juga kasih tahu kayak barang kayak gini 50 tahun tuh nggak berubah ya begini di situ.
The students should be the next generation every time. And also, if they own it. That's the important part. They own their work. Here, they feel like this is everywhere. This is not just here. This is everywhere. If you're being told from instructions, oh, do 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you have your own work and you want to fix something, you become dedicated. And now it'll go faster and you'll learn more. Because you own it. It's yours. And then you'll say, okay, I made the lamp better. I made this connector better.
Jadi harapan itu prosesnya, tidak hanya jumlah jamnya terpenuhi, tetapi perkembangan anak ini dari hari ke hari itu sejauh mana ada perubahan baiknya itu kelihatan. Jadi nanti harapannya ke depannya itu anak bisa membuat barangnya sendiri dengan hasil terbaik.
Ini nanti kan hasilnya berupa proses. Jadi kan pembelajaran ini kan step by step. Jadi mulai dari dasar, misalkan ukuran toleransinya besar dulu sampai kecil, terus nanti jadi proses. Gitu. Jadi di workshopnya juga di sana harapannya sudah berdiri seperti itu. So, bisa kalau proses itu sudah kita
I'm telling you this, but we also have science brothers. When my friends sit in a room together, I'm going to show you pictures of them. Okay. I'm used to having it first. Okay. This is one of my closest friends. Okay. That, strangely enough, is the actual inventor of the Tesla car. Tesla.
Mobil yang sekarang kan ada mobil tanpa Tesla.
Yeah.
Oh, Tesla.
So people
Yeah,
think Elon Musk. Elon Musk owns the company. He invented it in his garage, and then sold it. And he became the lead scientist for Tesla. Okay, this picture, it's not about him and me, it's about that. That, is the most powerful battery in the world. That is the prototype right there, high voltage. That little battery can drive a giant truck as big as this all day long. So just that, you should explain this concept, and I'll try to point after this if you want to retranslate that. So that little battery, which is smaller than a refrigerator, can power a Mack truck, the whole thing, all day long.
Jadi dia ada baterai yang bisa ini doang, tapi dia bisa buat gerakin bis kamu tunjuk ini seharian.
Seharian.
So now comes my point. Rob, myself, Elon Musk, all of us sat in rooms, we talked, and we asked a question. Why do we invent these things? What's different about us than everyone else. And what I just told you is the difference. That's the only thing we think is the difference. The students who are given a plan, 1, 2, 3, that's all they will ever do. The student who thinks on their own, all of us use this to make things for ourselves, even when we were kids. We don't know for a fact that every student that you have do this will continue. But we do have some evidence because we tested a little bit and it's very good. If every one of them picks their own thing to work on, almost all of them will keep doing that. And they'll make better things than they would have before. In fact, they build companies. So that is the difference, and that's why I explained it's not just my opinion. We know, like in China, there are certain things they've learned that you have to do 1, 2, 3 and follow the rules, or you won't be able to understand it. Many things I've seen in China where nope, they're doing it right. It's not for everything, but for this, the best way to learn is pick a real thing you want to make and do it yourself, and make it for yourself. Take it home with you. Something you want at your house, you want to make a stand for your own cell phone, or whatever it is, just do it and use these tools to make it. And it changes their mind right there. They suddenly realize they can do anything. That's it.
Semakin bagusnya, tidak dilihat dari durasinya, tapi hasil akhirnya itu kalau melihat ada perubahan yang lebih bagus semakin dari hari ke hari, kan bisa merubah mindset anak. Satu saat itu bisa membuat sendiri untuk keperluannya diri sendiri. Lagi kan dari baterai yang kecil itu ternyata bisa menggerakkan hal tersebut. Karena kan di awal kan hal yang patah dari awal itu yang punya tidak proses mengubahkan
Lihat dulu.
Ini saya juga sering misalkan gini, untuk kamu minta mesin apa yang misalnya nggak bisa. Ini contoh ya, beberapa anak, terutama anak yang PKL kelas 2 loh, yang tidak ada silakan anak.
Now, look, often people have not thought of it. In China, no. No, they don't. Yeah, in America, a little. But yeah, but you see how it affects the next thing they do. Yeah. That's great. Thank you so much. Follow you?
Pengelasan dulu atau otomotif dulu, Bu?
Oh, lanjut.
Kita cari tempat agak sepi dulu nih.
Oke. Ada gazebo, Pak? Ya.
They don't have any janitors, cleaners, maids, none of that. All the students clean. So everyone helps with everything. Again, helps.
Selamat pagi. Ada tamu dari Amerika. Selamat siang, Pak Ivan. Pak Karyo ada?
Ada.
Ada tamu dari Amerika.
Oh iya.
Gitu. Pak Karyo, tamu dari Amerika, Pak. Lihat deh. Mr. Reichart.
Mr.
Reichart.
Enggak, ini tadi baru itu. Tadi dari sini lihat temannya ini. Dan ya.
Mr. Reichart.
They have 20 years. 20 years. But pretty fast. It's just not cost effective anymore. There's too many parts. In the Tesla, it doesn't have one. It just has motor, batteries. Yeah. Oh no, this is what we're gonna do. I'm just saying is that they learn this and they have about so many years. No question. Electric. But they still somebody's left to fix all this. So they'll have that knowledge. And they'll see value in some machines. So yeah, it's going away.
Ada cewek Pak ya?
Shouldn't stand for this. Right. We should walk something away.
Wis tekan Cina.
Do you teach them aluminum cars that only have one wire, where the chassis is round? This is something that most students they have one of the things that was like a toy that was very common. But again, I say again, this is making it clear every one thing works. Very important. Also, that's the way he invented a sensor and touch it to a wire, even if it's got power, and it will tell you exactly how long the wire is. But it's impressive. Yeah, it starts right. That's it. And it's usually when you have a wire building and you don't know where it works, you just touch it. But that's not the important part. This is and it's the price of very cheap. Everyone can have that. Yeah. That's the important part. Normally these are the price of rent for a month. This is the price of 2 minutes. That was a whole cheap. Yeah, impressive.
Iya. Makasih, Pak.
Yes.
Top.
Orang dadanya itu
The next is welding department.
Okay.
No, this is the way to do all of it. I'm the one who told everyone around me, make it real. Make it real. So many countries don't. It's too abstract. This person doesn't know what that person is. That's a problem.
Siang, Mbak Yanto. Kamu dari Amerika? Enggak. Udah LKS, Pak? Enggak. LKS? Enggak, sudah selesai LKS.
Kerja sama apa, Pak? Dari luar. Kerja sama apa?
Iya.
Uniform.
ilmuwan Pak, dari Amerika.
Ya itu rada mudeng Pak. Asing Korea ini enggak.
Holding the power tool, I'm in danger. That's all we know. Yeah. That's my standing rule everywhere. And then leave people alone. Let them finish. Wait until they need you. That's all the rule. But people don't. They get lazy. And then they're looking
harus tahu harus tahu kondisi bahwa jalan dari ini pasti ini anak kelas ada yang pas nengok
Udah. Nanti minta 5 anak ya ikut workshop jam 1 di Tenopak. 5 anak yang ya paling enak mungkin bahasa Inggris. Terima kasih.
That's one thing I didn't grow up doing is welding. I learned it recently. I wish I had learned welding when I was younger. I made that, and yeah. When I go back to America, my friend he built a castle. He built for his home is a castle. It's bigger than this building, and he built it alone. Every weld, every piece, he made it. Every piece of stone, he placed it. Every piece of wood, he cut it. Amazing. But he teaches me welding.
Sini. Terbuka apa enggak?
Oh gitu.
Oh, dari sana. That way. Pak Roy ini di Tenopak?
Kayaknya sih.
Oh, ya meeting tadi. Gitu. Soalnya Pak Roy belum pernah ke listrik. Oh. Kemarin kan karena ya itu tadi terkunci.
That's actually a great compliment. The Germans think
Sini Bu.
I'm on your own. I learned. I get it. I'm right behind you. In some of the malls in Indonesia, sometimes the escalators go up on the left, sometimes they go up on the right, and that confuses me. But I try to make the rules.
Electrical installation.
The all teachers are teaching.
Good. They're going.
Tak panggilkan nih. Orang Amerika. Pak Reichart. Monggo. Ada tamu dari Amerika, ilmuwan nggih berkunjung. Ada Pak Salang, Pak Muginya di
Pojok sana mungkin.
oh pojok nggih. Nggih.
Ya.
Nggih. Makasih, Pak. Ya. Boleh Pak Mugi aja deh, Pak Mugi. Pak Salang. Selamat siang Pak Mugi.
Mugi, ada tamu.
Selamat siang. Ada tamu Pak Reichart dari Amerika. Nggih.
Mana Pak? Amerika.
Amerika. Lagi kita.
Lewat sana atau ada sekarang?
Mungkin balik sini.
Di sini. Lewat sana kita tak bisa lihat. Sana enggak ada.
Dari sini aja.
Sini aja, Pak.
Biar sekalian TKJ.
Oh, gitu.
Ini Pak Mugi, Pak Salah. Oh, gitu. Oke.
We're at a point now where in most factories in America, we have custom robots for everything. So any job that a human would do, you can teach the robot to follow their hands and it'll do the same thing over and over and over again. So yes, it's getting, it's starting to happen that every place will have robots everywhere for everything. But this is the beginning of it. And for testing.
Yeah.
Testing is a big one. These are test rigs. But
Ini semester Oktober too.
right. But in the past, it's always been just testing. But now it's manufacturing and testing. And the next step is going to be custom making. It'll be the middle part. And still humans do that. But soon, one robot does all three. Yeah, but we're not quite there yet. No, I mean, even China, not quite there. Actually, this part you may enjoy. You may want to translate this one.
What is it?
I'm going to put him on the spot. So tell him I'm going to put him on the spot and ask him questions.
Okay. So, fokusnya di bapak ini gitu.
Yep. Why do the Japanese make robots? This is a real question.
Menurut bapak, kenapa sih Jepang buat robot?
Yes.
Kenapa? Menurut Bapak kenapa?
Karena manusianya lebih sedikit di Jepang.
Because the people in Japan still try to not having kids anymore. So the decrease in population. Same.
Now tell him, he's the first person to get the answer right.
Oh, benar Kak, betul.
No, all over the world, no one knows this.
Yeah.
So I'll say this to the Germans, to the French, and they're like, oh, it's a help with manufacturing. No. It's because I used to live in Japan. They're racist and they don't want anyone to touch them. They're scared because they're getting old and they don't have their children taking care of them, but they won't allow you guys to touch them because they're crazy. And especially the Philippines, because the Philippines tend to be the people who go out and become nurses. And so every place where there's nurses, there are Filipinos. And the Japanese, no, they don't want to be touched. And so they want someone to carry them and give them the tea and all that. So Chinese, manufacturing. Japan, social aging. I don't know what you call this. Their Sony robot is designed to just walk up and give you tea. Right? America, weapons. Most our robots are killing machines, which saddens all of us. And we'll all end up with good robots. But yeah, our money in America is weapons. That's the same. Even I worked on weapons. It's just that's where the money is. The government pays for it, and they're interested in that. And so that's it. Now, what's more interesting? Who is not making robots? Russia. Germany. Deutschland. No robots. It's Japan, China, America. That's it. Everyone else, anyone who is not working on robots, will fall behind. And it will be fast. It'll be like not having computers. So it's imperative they learn how to make everything work now. And 3D printing machines, learn it now. If you don't catch up, you'll fall far behind. That would be the biggest issue. 3D. Do you have any 3D printers here?
Yes.
Yeah, some. Yeah. And they're primitive. The 3D printers are primitive. The welding they were doing downstairs, and more importantly, the machining of cutting the parts. They have the machines that are robotically controlled, but those are not 3D printers. In the future, 3D printers are getting more and more sophisticated. You have to stay on the leading edge of that always, because it's changing every day. Even my people that I know that make them, they have to look at the news. Oh, 1 week goes by, there's a new device. And so like this is all called 2 and 3 axis. So it's like this, that, right? The new ones, this moves. And it's a separate robot. And so it can come in, and so this just moves to here, and then it goes back out again. That's the next generation. We just keep going. Some build like this, some build underneath and push from above. Some are in sand, there's so many ways, but we're this close that you press a button and it builds a building. We're like this close. Like next 5 years, they're going to get it down. Right now they're working on it. Where it puts the wires, all this, is inside. Everything. Done. No wires, sink, no tubes, all taken care of. Yeah. It also means, to understand this, I just mentioned this, I've already seen this working. The sink has a drain, it's a tube. The tube goes into a tube. But in these machines, the tube is in the concrete, there's no tube. It's just a runway. So it's open, and no waste of plastic, nothing. Only where it comes out, it's a tube. But that's it, done. So now the raceways for this even, you don't need the sheath because it's already built into the concrete and it's sealed. They pour it at the same time. It's finished. The whole building is finished. When they print the building, it's finished. The windows, the door, everything is ready to go. That's just starting now. Yeah. So you'll be able to grow a house.
Tapi kan kelihatannya sudah ya di kelistrikan sudah sampai ke sana itu ya Pak, yang otomatisasi itu.
Sudah. Ini yang di sebelahnya ada.
Ya
Kenik smart building. Smart building.
Oh, smart building ya.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's still nascent, baby stage. They're just starting. Level one. 5 years, 10 years, it'll be good. The good news is houses for everyone will be very cheap. It's very clear that will happen. What I care about is that I care about three things. Just we haven't discussed this, but here are my three things. The three most important things to me. It doesn't mean I can help. I do the three. Number one, free access, no censorship to the internet. That's imperative. Every single human must have access to everything. Number one, because once you have that, everything else comes from that. Good. The next one surprises people. Clean water. Too many people don't have clean water. And so we get sick and we waste time, and it means that he gets sick, you and I have to take care of him. That means we're not doing our other job. And so if I look at all the problems, in malaria in Africa, very bad, but not as bad as water. Clean water everywhere. And the third is what we just talked about, permanent architecture. Not architecture, permanent. This is permanent architecture. Concrete. This building will be here 200 years from now. It already works. It's ready to go. You can always add this afterwards. I grew up in a house that was built in 800. My family's house was built, my family goes back to 800. So 1,200 years. The house, that was my bedroom, was in a house, 1,000. So I would look at it and go, well made. It's not going to fall over. So those three things are very important, so I would try to help anyone who's doing that, making filters for water, getting the internet everywhere. Like China has internet, but you can't easily communicate. And even here, you have some issues with getting information. I want free access. So those are the three things. But yeah, everything they're doing here is learn it from the ground up, and then more. Invent something, make something new. Always ask yourselves, what can you do that no one's seen before? And then you'll get the attention of the world. Always. It's like just show somebody anything, and then they'll look at you. But it has to be like this. Get rid of this, this, and this, and just have one little arm that bends, like this track here, bends and does the job. Everyone would want that. Someone has to do it. So yeah, that's the best information I can give you back.
Just wait.
Yeah.
For some years later.
Give it time. It'll happen. No rush. It goes slow sometimes, and then suddenly it's better.
Atau mau ngajak tanya dulu, ngomong dulu? It seems that our students wants to practice English with you.
Practice?
Will you?
Sure.
Oke, Mas Ilham silahkan kalau mau praktek ngomong bahasa Inggrisnya ke Mas Tabas. Halo. Enggak apa-apa.
Don't be shy, don't be shy.
Bisanya mau tanya apa?
Don't be shy.
Biasa-biasa saja. Oke. Ya.
Dari mana gitu?
Kelihatannya dengan tertarik. You can open your mouth.
I do stop sometimes.
Semobil robotik.
I recognize it.
Ya usah, gini aja. Ini.
So, my friend, who I mentioned passed away, who made a machine that measured resistance, his hobby was building robots. He and his company, and they won. Oh, I forgot the name of it now. Robo Wars. It was a television show, but they built robots to attack each other across America. They attack each other, and that was quite a few years ago. Now they do competitions like this where it's not violent, which is good. But it's, who can get there fastest and who can outmaneuver each other. This is going to get very sophisticated very fast. It's moving. Yeah.
Konsep jalan tengah. Coba dulu.
this robot has a job to transporter.
Yep.
So they will be pick up the
Yep,
box
yep.
and will be delivery to the customer. But the instruction is different barcode.
Yep.
So no sequence on this room 1, room 2, room 3, no, but it's random.
Right. Yeah.
We use the so we collect sensor, but the programming is from this platform.
What language do you program?
We use Blackfield from Texas program. Like black and blue from Japan.
When I was young, my first language was programming Lisp. And Lisp is for AI, but it was 45 years ago. 5 years ago, yeah, that was Lisp. And so, yeah, but all these are sub-languages that are similar. What I don't understand is the wheels. So, I want to see how it moves. Yeah, because you have 3 wheels. And
It is omnidirectional.
okay, yeah. I want to actually see it.
We can move.
Yeah. And it's an issue, so I haven't seen this move. I want to see how you're making it move.
The sensor we use the first is camera.
Yep.
We use image processing.
Yep.
The second is array.
Are you using LiDAR?
No. Belum pakai leader.
Next up.
Leader yang langsung. Belum.
Yep. It's one of wise, just image, just 2D. It's like a human. But LiDAR makes things much easier, and you can solve other problems. Yeah. So basically a laser. It tells you how far that is from here. That's a camera. So they're using image recognition to recognize objects. That's good. But humans sort of have a laser. And it could do that too. And we don't. So you know you're in a big empty space because you're a great echo. Robots should too. And so my point is that these extra features should be thought about now, because this is kind of blind. It's like if you could only see the world like this, and only one image at a time. We should do 2, like a human, and we should have ears, so it hears. Hearing the vibration as it taps off that changes what it knows what that's made of. And so we're not quite there yet, but that's again, this is what we have to move to the next level. So I see a lot.
Kedepannya mungkin pembelajarannya ditambahkan lagi yang sensornya tidak hanya pakai suara.
Oh, yeah. You should always have 2 robots. Always 2. There's always a problem. And then you go, oh, I see, okay. Is he trying to move?
Tugas pertama itu membuat kotak bekas. Jadi kalau ruangan itu ada kotak kuning, itu tuh bekas obat sebenarnya. Itu nanti dibuang di sini.
So you could have
Baru bisa diisi.
10 years ago, maybe 15, everyone had like a car. And then someone said, 3 wheels. And the wheel that is not moving is not moving like that. These little black wheels around it, they just free movement. And it's smarter, so there's less wheels that are moving. And so it'd be weird for people to hear that. They breathe. No, 4. And so it's dragging one of the wheels, so the wheel is not moving for the
Jelasin mas.
Orang naik dulu, naik.
At Amazon, Amazon shipping, like PDF, yeah, similar, right? At the factory, the robots, it's almost funny to watch. They skid, but they know that they can get pieces faster, so they use that, they skid and shoot boxes off. And they do it so fast, and they're on a table with holes, and so just as they're going over, they drop things, and then they get back on the road, and so no robot ever stops. It's, and then all the things are sorted. That's what they're doing now. They're getting to that level, and to save energy, because robots use more power. And so to do this, and then change, very expensive. But if you speed up and skid, you cut energy. I'm not sure why it does the double spin. It needs to be fixed. Wasting energy. It should come in order to know how to park itself. That's the type of stuff we're looking at problems. We're like, why are you wasting energy? Why are you, that's what they'll ask. So you need to shave that off. They'll notice it that it's not good. That type of thing. So yeah, always predict. If you know where you're going, even if you're guessing, better to guess and prove that you're wrong, find out, oh, I'm not in the right place. But you should already be ready to go to the right place. So it should basically come in, ass first. Everything should be the least motion possible. That's what impresses the others in the robots. Yeah, they're looking at that. Oh, yeah, okay, you're going slow, looking around. Oh, okay, it doesn't know what it's doing. Yeah, no, it should be done. Yep. That's what tells them that you're putting the physics into the software. I mean, the robot will do what you tell. Right, that's it. Yeah. In fact, the robot, let me ask you, does the robot have an accelerometer? Is there an accelerometer so it knows? Yeah, so they can just read the accelerometer right on there. It should, that PC board should have everything on it. My whole point is, phones, this is the most powerful technology in the world. We should just be able to drop our phone on there, turn the robot, this is the brain. And you now control it. And your phone can control my phone, and it controls that. Why are we doing special hardware? Everything in that board is less than what we have in these phones. Right. This does everything. I have all the same stuff that does. In fact, I have more. Or a device like just the phone, but why not the phone? This is good enough. This can control that. This is ready to go. Android, yeah. Just do it. Just don't waste your time. You got USB port, sensors, done. Click, done. And that can be Bluetooth, which means no wires. My point is, why do we wait step? It's just, we know, jump, go. Yep. Yeah, so it's fun. But this is the right way to do it. Just do things carefully, one step at a time. Make sure it works. Go to the next step. So this is robotics, but you also have programming. You're just programmers? People who just study programming? Okay, but yeah. And what's the language you mostly use?
Language for programming. Di sini ada seperti kamu. Jadi ada blok-blok. Dia bisa dilihat di sini.
Right.
So we connect from block 1 to
Yeah, no, I understand. So it's we refer to this as the graphical language. Yep. But my question still stands. Are you teaching programming?
Di sini ada
Yes.
I'm not programming with that
Like
language. Yeah, good. But I mean, are you programming like Rebel, C, but okay, good. So, because you actually might not be, and that's possible, but you should, technically, everyone here should at least learn how a web page is made. And they have a clue what's going on. Yeah. And then if the ones who want more, learn more. Yeah. There's always work to be done. I always start, even myself, I always start with, do you have a job? Can you make money on what you do? I'm not taking chances, per se, but I will push as fast as I can to invent, always. From him to inventing something new. Because otherwise, you're just a machine yourself. But that aside, no, it's also good, like we have programming taught here, everyone can make money right now. So, yeah, it's very important, everywhere. When the economy gets bad, a lot of people don't have jobs. A lot of those are very well educated because they don't know how to do anything useful. So, it's a problem. But yeah, I'm going to all this, yeah. Very nice, I appreciate it.
TKJ. Lihat kan? Atau monggo.
So,
Nggih, enggak apa-apa.
every device in the world
Meh rene, kowe iki piye lah? Iki ana wong Amerika kok malah. Cepat langsung masuk. Yang videografi sudah selesai ini. Langsung. Ini mau ke sini soalnya, mau ke sini. Cepat. Persiapan, tamunya mau ke sini. Cepat, tamunya mau ke sini. Ojo ngene. Pak Reichart meh rene.
Pak siapa? Siapa Pak?
Metu.
Langsung pulang Pak.
Wis langsung pulang ae Pak aku.
Sudah sakit semua Pak. Pulang lewat mana Pak?
Ya langsung. Siap. Jendelane kowe iku piye lah?
It's silly, but that's the reason. It's silly.
Welcome tuh. Ya enggak apa-apa. Yes. Silakan. Gurunya Mas Arya. Mas Arya ini mentornya dari Rus.
It's the mentor. It's from the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From Rus Animation.
So what's taught here?
Yeah.
What topic is this again? Just what topic? What's the topic?
No, it's still visited as after this, after the lunch. So can you
I see.
this is something like this.
Got it.
Dari mana guys?
Ya, dari baru lulus kemarin.
Halo semuanya. Oke, kali ini tidak semua
Kenal sama siswa-siswanya ya? Mas Tommy ini. Sudah kenal sama siswa-siswa dan negara sudah anaknya.
Jadi kalau pakai Mister jadi Ki aja. Itu dia ini yang pernah bikin software di Disney juga. gitu. Kemudian kliennya dari Apple ya, Apple the finest Apple.
Apple,
Apple, Microsoft,
Electronic Arts,
DreamWorks,
DreamWorks, Warner,
Warner Bros.
Mattel.
Mattel. Mattel is for
It's not choice the public defense.
public defense.
Department of Defense.
Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weapons, yeah. So, weapons, toys.
Bonus class is animation.
Yeah. Now I get it. Yeah. So what's the primary tool used here? What do they spend most of their time on? Like which tool? Which program?
Here's a Maya.
Maya. There, Maya.
There's Maya and substance.
Got it.
Masalah
Oh, I see. So
Terus ke arah seni ya gitu. Pak Roy sudah tahu semua.
sama Pak Roy.
Makanya langsung familiar. Nah,
What was I going to say anything specific?
yang punya emitter lah.
Bisa show nggak karya-karyanya anak-anak?
Oh, Mas Yafi, karyanya anak-anak? Ini.
Maybe he will show student they only learning about three months.
Okay. So they're probably better than me now. Well, like I just. I will do my best.
Gedenya kayak saya ya. Di full kayak gitu.
Tapi dimasukkan ke
Sets. Okay. Yeah.
nggak ada opening aja.
And animation.
No, it's only special for asset.
Okay, right, okay. So I can speak to the fact that I used to be a set designer. So, put it on paper. But I used to do set design when I did set designs for Pepsi. And,
Pepsi?
Yeah, so I would design for their commercials.
Is it the logo or?
No. Like we see a commercial on television for Pepsi. I was the set designer.
Oh.
That's how I made my living earlier. I would do art and design and sets and yeah.
Jadi set ini pada kerja di kalian tahu Pepsi nggak? Coca-Cola Pepsi. Ya, nah dia pernah karena dia buat bagian iklan Pepsi itu, tapi dia in charge-nya untuk bikin settingnya kayak gini nih kalau visualis.
Oh, aset.
Ya dia bikin aset desainernya buat iklan Pepsi itu.
Now the reason I chose set design because many people wanted me to be a director. My problem is I don't like people.
Jadi ya udah denger kan dia lebih milih jadi set designer daripada director karena dia nggak suka orang-orang gitu. Kalau director kan harus bikin banyak tim ya. Jadi dia lebih milih jadi set designer aja daripada director.
And so a famous director tried to want me to be his intern, maybe, so his assistant, and so to learn to become him. And I said, "So you want me to go to jail?" And he goes, "Why would you go to jail?" Because an actor or an actress will annoy me, and I'll strangle them.
dia bilang karena dia saking nggak sukanya sama orang gitu, direkturnya sampai bilang mau jadi internship nggak, jadi asisten aja gitu. Kalau nggak mau jadi direktur gitu kan ditawarin direkturnya. Terus dia malah jawabnya gini, kamu mau saya masuk penjara? Gitu. Nah bingung kenapa masuk penjara gitu. Dia Siki bilang kalau misalkan nanti dia dipaksa untuk kerja sama orang, orang yang bikin kesel dia bakal cetik orang gitu, jadi masuk penjara.
That just reminded me of something. So I used to do the covers of magazines. I was a stylist, so make like a stylist, and for Vogue. And the thing is, most of my time was spent doing sets. So I would design stuff. I would do it all paper, of course, back then, paint it, draw it faster. Hey, what do you want? Yep, okay. My problem was I would get hired to do styling for, say, a woman in their dress, whatever it was. But I had a tendency to treat the person, the model, the man or the woman, as an object. And I would move, and then they'd move it. Stop that. Stay. So that was like, I shouldn't work with people. So.
Dia juga pernah kerja tuh selain buat Pepsi, ada majalah Fox, tau nggak? FOG, Fox ya.
Fox.
Dia majalah terkenal gitu, dia kan. Nah dia insert untuk bagian styling covernya gitu. Di cover kan biasanya ada model buat foto atau ada apa gitu kan. Nah kalau pas dia di majalah Fox ini, karena dia nggak suka orang lagi-lagi. Ketika dia ngarahin buat modelnya buat gerak, kadang tuh malah kelebihan bikin dia kesel gitu. Dia ngelakuin orang tuh seperti objek gitu kan, dan orang seringnya gitu. Jadi kalau misalkan gayanya berubah gitu, geser ke kiri, itu kan kelebihan gitu. Jadi dia benar-benar nggak suka kerja sama orang karena dia ngurus orang tuh sebagai objek.
Karena kalau dikit apa harus dibilang seperti itu berlebihan aja.
Harus sedikit deh.
This much easier. No people. Move it. Okay, good. Perfect. Stay. My goal in the movie, when you make a commercial or a movie and you're making a set, you always follow the silhouette rule. The silhouette. So in animation, this is well known. So this breaks the silhouette rule. It would have been better to put this pen in this hand and put this hand here. You should not have, from the camera, so the camera's looking this way, you should not have this blocking this. If I'm going to punch you, this hand is here, you can see it, this hand is here. From the side view, silhouette rule. Always, everything, this, characters, everything, that's if I could teach just one thing, silhouette rule. So when you picture something, actually we were talking about Disney. This is a good one to translate. When they went from Mickey Mouse being 2D to 3D, they had a problem because Mickey Mouse has ears. But Mickey, if you see him, his head's always here, Mickey Mouse. And the ears are like this. So this ear, this one here, is here. And as Mickey moves, like this, see? So Mickey, every picture of Mickey Mouse, perfect, 2 ears. But if Mickey was real, was 3D, Mickey would be like this, and that would be wrong. No, but even the back of Mickey, it would be like this, right? So the ears, you have to solve that manually. You just have to look frame by frame and rework the scene so that Mickey's ears are always correct. So you explain that, that's a really important one.
Jadi gini, yang paling penting ketika kalian belajar untuk modeling adalah siluet. Nah, seperti yang kalau misalnya bikin karakter yang selalu aku portretkan, siluetnya harus bener nih, harus sesuai nih, supaya proporsi segala macam itu sesuai. Sama juga seperti yang tadi dia bilang, misalnya kayak tadi di tangan itu siluet. Nah seperti ini kan siluetnya jadi nggak kelihatan tangan gitu. Ya tangan harus benar-benar tangan gitu. Nah contoh kasus yang dia di Disney waktu itu pernah adalah apa? Telinganya Mickey Mouse. Nah, kamu kalau lihat gambar Mickey Mouse tuh mau hadap sini pun pasti bagus terus dia. Kalau 2D, ya. Kalau 3D gimana?
3D susah.
Kalau 3D kan susah. Kamu 2D ya ini ikut gini, gitu loh. Nah, dia sama dia itu diperbaikin. Gimana di 3D bisa ini tetap gini, tetap bagus. Gitu.
Iya sih.
Jadi kalau enggak, susah. Misalnya kalian hadap ke belakang gini ya, telinganya Mickey Mouse-nya itu ya kembali gitu.
So, I'll use So, let me use this there better. I'm going to critique this, okay? So on purpose. Normally I would not be critiquing, but I want to show you an example. If someone showed me this, and actually what is this for? Tell me that first. What is this originally intended for?
Desain yang ini tadinya untuk apa tujuannya? Desain apa ya?
Desain yang buat siapa?
Kelas atau set apa gitu? Tujuannya?
Satu kelas. Per kelompok. Iya.
Tapi ini buat sekolahan atau apa gitu?
Ruangan biasa.
Portfolio.
Ruang biasa sih.
Kos-kosan, bedroom.
Ya kamar.
Kamar.
Yeah, it's a bedroom.
No, I know what that is. What's it for?
It's for portfolio. They making it for portfolio.
Okay, then good, then I get to complain about it. Okay. The very first thing when I look at that, too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Too much. 5. Get down to 5 things. This, too close. This should be here. Get it away by itself. I didn't even know that was a window. I didn't know what I was looking at. Move that up. Too much, too much, too much. Something this small. Yes, it's accurate. Too confusing. Too much information. 1, 2, 3, 4. So very small creatures in here. Big chair. Little ladder. No, they don't match. These should be, get rid of that and that. Shrink it down so whatever walks that sits on that. That's what I see when I look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just one over the fireplace. All this stuff hanging, get rid of it. Maybe one, but put one funny picture here. One. Let people focus. This, then this, and this, and this, and this. It's too much information for people. So the silhouette rule, which, small note, that animation, perfect. See? Silhouette rule. And this I'd bring down a little bit. Move it up a little bit. Move it up a little bit. See? This is okay. This is okay. That's what I mean by silhouette rule. You must, as best as you can, every frame, you know what's going on. You can see what's happening. In here, too much. There's just too much. Other than that, the colors. A very dear friend of mine. She was the color artist for Sleeping Beauty. She explained that if you want to, just color artist.
Dia punya teman, temannya itu dia coloris untuk film Sleeping Beauty dari Disney.
Oh, Sleeping Beauty, yeah.
So here's her job. This is the character, and he's in this room. But this color and his face are the same, which means that when he is in front of this, he's going to look like he's transparent. Okay?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you have to know strong contrast, everything. And this does not quite have enough strong contrast. So the color of the wood and stone are almost the same. Wood should be brown, stone should be gray. Then pick color up from there. So you're going to explain that.
Oke, jadi tadi feedbacknya dari Kim kan ini ya terlalu rame ya, jadi item-itemnya perlu dikurangin. Terus untuk kedua terkait warna, ini harusnya
Kontras.
lebih kontras lagi.
Iya.
Misalkan di sini brown sama kayu, terus di sini batu harusnya grey. Nanti warna-warnanya diambil dari itu gitu. Jadi sebagai main itemnya warnanya harus kontras.
Okay.
So the next thing is, now I'm doing something, let's translate, nitpicking little things, just a few little things. So like this lamp is an outdoor lamp, but it's inside. So why is that there?
Ini kalau boleh tahu kenapa ada lampu warna dia ada di dalam ruangan ya gitu. Jadi kurang pas juga gitu kalau lampu luar ruangan taruh di dalam kamar.
And I have to ask, and I want someone to ask who does it. Who knows about the golden mean? Yes, I'm going to translate. It's the ratio of a perfect rectangle.
Golden section. Golden section.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to go to the word for. I don't know what the word would be. So the next thing is these windows are very strange, and they make me look at that door like the door is special. You never want your set to be special unless the director told you. So that's called special. Every door out there, it'll be square, 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 square. But this is kind of a square and then a rectangle.
Yeah.
No real door does that. And if anything, they tend to be this way, not this way. If you do things this way, it's usually 1, 2, 3. There's numbers, there's ratios you just have to follow. The ratio of this to this, 9/16. The ratio of this to this. These are numbers we already know. So the door is weird. And so it looks like somebody took a door that was here and pushed it down. Why? Right. So these are the things. So you've got this here, you've got that there, got this. This, okay, but very tall. Like, see, this might exist in Asia. It probably won't exist in Europe, and it does not exist in America. But if you made them closer to golden mean, Asia, Europe, and America, same. We all agree, same. See, so you have tall windows. In America, these would probably be shorter, which is trade. I like this. That's becoming aware of culture. So the last thing here is, whose culture are you representing? This doesn't seem to even have a culture, but that's my point. You have to decide those little signals. You have to check and say, does this look okay? So if you had called me, if you sent this to me in an email, I would just make these comments really fast for you. Like, I fix this, and I would just have a link showing you real doors, or find a door that's better, and then say, will you find a door between what I sent you and a door you might find here in Indonesia, and then figure from there. So that's it. I mean, again, overall, it's beautiful. It's a lot of fun. It looks fun. It looks intriguing. I actually like the fact that the color palette was consistent, so it's a bit muted, so it's been earth tones, etc. So everything else is great. But those are all my complaints I could see right at this moment. And again, as I was working with a director, which I usually do, or the DP, the director of photography, the person who looks through the camera, they would be upset with me if I handed this to them. They would say, get rid of this stuff, too much stuff. There you go. So.
Oke, jadi untuk tadi ya ukuran di sini meskipun secara nggak langsung dia terlihat, jadi kalau bikin jendela, bikin meja, disesuaikan konsep daerah mananya gitu. Mungkin bilang kalau di Amerika jendelanya bikin dulu pendek, kalau di Indonesia lebih tinggi. Jadi yang ketika buat itu di pikirannya juga perlu diperhatikan itu dipresent daerah mana, menggambarkan konsep daerah mana.
Daya.
Referensi. Referensi. The reference, right?
Yep, exactly. I'm going to stop much faster this time. So I have a friend who's about to do a television show about UFOs, which is kind of silly. But that's what he does. He does shows about silly things, and then he attacks it. There's no UFOs. Okay, so explain that first.
Dia tadi punya teman, dia kerjanya di TV ya, TV yang acaranya tuh lucu-lucuan gitu, di acara.
I'm curious, what's the translation of UFO? UFO.
UFO.
No, not UFO. Unidentified flying object, like an alien.
Alien.
How do you translate?
Yeah.
What do you guys call that?
Like UFO.
Kita bilang UFO.
Okay, just sure. There's a special word for it. Okay, so he knows I used to be an art director, so he used me this way. So he said, I know you did a long time ago, but I would appreciate it if you'd help me with the show. Tell me how to build the set. And I have one simple question. Is the set a character or not? So sometimes you just need something behind you and you don't want to be seen. Sometimes the character is also the set. So you have an actor and the set are both characters and they need to be equal time. So the set helps the actor helps the set. Sometimes not. He said, no, not a character. So you put that.
Sebenarnya itu kalau untuk acara UFO tadi yang komedi bikin itu dia minta bantuan untuk dibikinin set gitu. Tapi dari perlu speak information lagi setnya itu dalam bentuk karakter atau cuman objek aja di belakang gitu. Karena kan kalau untuk set bisa membantu karakter juga bisa membantu set. Dia nunggu jawabannya ternyata bukan karakter juga gitu.
Okay, so funny enough, we were both in a kayak as he was explaining this to me. We were going down a river, river in the mountains of America. You remember? He started explaining this to me. I thought, I think you're wrong. So I tell him he's wrong.
Oke, kan tadi jawabannya bukan karakter ya, bukan objek. Waktu dia lagi diskusi sama temennya itu lagi berlayar satu kayak ya.
Kayak.
Main kayak di yang mereka sana. Kata Diki, kamu salah, bukan karakter.
He needs the set to be a character. And it hit me because he had a giant screen, a bit much bigger, and he was going to put that behind him and record it with him. And he was having to point to video off it. And I got an idea. We get an RV, so a recreational vehicle, big vehicle, and you sit normally in the front, but you can also get up and walk in it. But he would be in the driver's seat, and out the window, it would be as if he was out in the middle of some forest or some place, and then he could see a UFO. But then what's outside there could also be the screen. We would physically do this. We'd have a screen, and in like a warehouse, and we bring the vehicle and set up the camera. So the camera is one position, he's in the seat, and out the window, this would be showing what looks like a field and trees, and we'd have real trees, one or two on the sides, so it really looks like he's in the middle of a field. And then he would have beer, and he'd be drinking beer, and the reason is, in America, people who see UFOs are usually drunk. And so it's playing to that like a joke. It's saying like, this is what people think of when they think of this. Now he fits in. He fits into the situation. And now he loved the idea. Now he agreed the set was a character.
So, jadi kan dibilang tadi bukan karakter ya set di belakangnya, tapi dikoreksi sama Ki, enggak, khususnya itu karakter gitu. Atas di lokasi syuting, ketika syuting, dia di belakang, tapi akhirnya dia pakai screen, jadi dia nggak bikin modelnya kayak gini, dia pakai screen. Jadi mainnya ada di dalam mobil, kayaknya mobil, terus di belakangnya screen yang menjadi pemandangan jalannya gitu kalau mobil gelap. Di belakangnya lagi screen lagi buat menunjukin yang UFO yang tadi.
Green screen itu ya?
Enggak, dia pakai screen beneran.
Oh, screen beneran. Oh.
TV besar, screen besar gitu.
Yeah.
Terus kan kalau di Amerika itu biasanya mereka percaya kalau yang orang-orang yang lihat UFO itu biasanya minum bir. Nah, ketika syuting juga disediakan bir buat minum.
Now, I told you the story. First, now you're aware the set can be a character. It's really important. Second thing, though, now we have an idea for his logo. His logo could be the top of the earth and a little RV and a little UFO, and then the name of his show. And that way, it looks like he sees everything from his RV, which now becomes a character, even in the logo. So it's really unique, clear, done. The WhatsApp logo is similar. There's a person standing on top of the earth. That's similar, and actually, it's not a bad thing here. But it's funny, the idea of a giant RV on top of the earth. That's how he's working on that logo now.
Jadi untuk logo-nya itu dia pakai gambar style mobil ini, terus sama RV itu screen yang tadi, sama benda info itemnya di atas itu. Jadi logonya benar-benar simpel, tapi itu jadi bahan yang unik gitu.
Yeah.
So recapped, first, is it a character? And now this drove the logo. So even though you're thinking it's just a set, you may end up changing, the writers might change the story because they see something that's good in your set. That's funny, or I'll make that part of the show.
Jadi kesimpulannya, meskipun yang dibuat itu set, anak itu bisa jadi play important role, bisa jadi logo, bisa jadi set di belakang gitu. Kalau buat set, misalkan benar-benar yang bagus, yang jadi bisa jadi itu nanti bisa jadi logo.
Good. So that's the most useful information I can give.
Setelah cerita dia sebagai seorang set designer.
Other than that, just show up on time.
Jadi teman-teman kalau mau ada pertanyaan silakan aja.
Ada yang mau tanya? Gak apa-apa. Kok ditranslate nih, Raisa?
Ya, nggak apa-apa. Yang mau bahasa Indonesia dulu dan translate.
Ya? Ayo takon aja. Gak apa-apa bahasa Indonesia. Ngadeg.
Seberapa penting ambient operation? Seberapa penting ambient operation?
Ambient operation? What do you think about ambient operation? How is it?
Where's this again?
Ambient operation?
Yes.
It's a regular pass. It's regular pass.
Oh, the regular pass, yes. Yeah, okay. You're asking kind of a subtle question. So I would ask, this gets like a screensaver, like how we did it look so real.
Yeah.
We did it in real time.
Yeah.
Bisa
Ya, bisa.
Okay, bisa buka. I will tell him to open the.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Internet.
Screen. Screen. S-E-R-E-N. Yeah, screen.
Ini karya yang dia buat itu 20 tahun lalu. I said you made 20 years ago.
Yes, and also this is the #1 selling Ever.
Ya, ini karya dia yang tahun tersebut itu penjualannya itu nggak ada yang lain.
Yep, just click on
20 tahun lalu dia bikin ini.
Oh.
Nah, Indonesia gimana? Mungkin ini belum lahir ya, mungkin ya. Justru kalian sudah pernah lahir, yang sudah pernah yang tahun 90-an itu biasanya yang sudah tahun 90-an itu kayak saya sendiri, saya sering lihat screensaver ini di PC tabung.
PC ya.
PC tabung itu ada ikan-ikan ini. Gitu.
Iya.
Nah, kalau saya dulu saya nggak tahu, saya kira itu beneran. Dan ternyata itu bukan beneran, itu 3D. You know, I told them before I look at your art, I thought it's a video.
Most people think that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is 20 years ago.
Itu 20 tahun lalu.
The textures on these fish are only 256 by 256. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it looks. And this is actually not the best quality, but yeah. Okay, so tell me to press the letter W. The letter W.
Letter W.
Press it.
Pencet letter W. Oh, wheel. Oh, this is YouTube.
Oh,
From YouTube.
That's why this is so bad.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
From YouTube. Itu ya.
It,
It's not complete yet,
Oh, don't.
but once done like it, you see the free price.
To see it real is best. It's almost there,
Yeah.
but we can still talk about this. This was built before all these 3D tools existed.
Ya, ini dibuat sebelum ada 3D software yang ada sekarang.
So
Oh.
we designed this together as a team, and every effect we did ourselves.
Jadi ini mereka bangun ini secara tim, gitu, dan itu dilakukan sendiri. Gitu.
There's an interesting thing. Because I had this question. Let me think about the answer for a moment. You need to know. Is it good? Yes, no. Oh.
K-code.
Hit next.
Oh yeah, finish.
Then have nothing stop it. Then done.
Preview.
And you, oh, you know, there you go. Okay. Type this.
Nah, itu kamu copy.
Test fish.
Test fish. Better.
Whoosh.
That's what it should look like. See the reaction? This is what, remember, 256 by 256. That's the highest resolution we use.
Jadi teksturnya itu 275 kali 275. Kalau sekarang kalian pakainya udah 2K kan?
Yeah.
This goes to this question.
Okay.
The point is, these layers, these extra special processing layers, can take even simple art and make it look better.
Oke, jadi dia bikin sesuatu yang layer-layernya dibikin simple sama dia, termasuk AO dan lain-lain, reflection, itu semuanya itu dibikin simple sama dia untuk jadi itu.
So you need to learn all of it. You need to learn every type of effect and decide the best time to use it.
Jadi kamu butuh belajar apapun itu, nggak hanya seberapa penting itu AO, gitu loh. Jadi misalnya spekular, apapun itu penting semua yang harus kamu pelajari supaya hasilnya bisa seperti itu.
So here's an example of something we don't do. A lot of these screensavers have light up here,
Okay.
and we don't. You see, there's nothing up here because we discovered it was annoying. It's like we saw it's more real, but it annoys us, so we got rid of it.
Oke, jadi sebenarnya kalau kalian lihat ini caustic ini, itu sebenarnya kalau aslinya itu ada di sini, ada giniannya. Cuma dia nggak taruh, karena apa? Kalau orang lihat itu akan membingungkan,
Iya.
dan orang akan pusing ya. Makanya ditaruhnya di bawah sini.
So these fish look very rounded.
Oke, ikannya itu kelihatan rounded kalau kalian lihat.
And the fins look very natural.
Nah, dan finnya itu jalannya itu natural.
Pure illusion.
Itu ilusi.
Okay? There's only one sine wave going through that fin.
Oh, jadi itu hanya satu garis yang
Yep.
yang goyang di
Just
finnya.
one. All of them the same.
Jadi semuanya itu di finnya sama. Gitu.
But there are things that are going on, like actually even this one, the fin on the top of its back. If it comes up against another fish, it goes up like it's angry.
Oh,
It's very subtle.
di sini kalau dia ketemu dengan yang lain itu bisa naik gitu finnya.
Ya.
Itu dia kan lagi marah gitu loh.
That little
Oh,
fin,
yeah.
if this one comes against another one, they slow down, their fins will go up. And if you look, you can't see us here, but you can see up close, their eyes are moving.
Oh, jadi
They
dia
pick
kalau
something
jalan,
to look at.
dia jalan sini matanya pun juga bisa tahu dia.
So watch this. I'm gonna take my eye and look at something with my hand.
Oh,
So he does this.
20 tahun yang
The eye
lalu.
picks something to look at and follows it, and then when there's something else coming, it jumps up to that.
Oke, jadi dia akan jalan. Kalau ada sesuatu seperti itu dia menghalangi itu.
Tanya.
Dia akan lihat, oke dia akan
Ilmuwan.
pindah ke tempat lain. Gitu.
Nah.
Termasuk yang lainnya juga sama. Dia kalau lihat yang lain dia nggak akan tabrak, tapi dia akan menghindar.
Iya.
Most people are never gonna notice this.
Nah, semua orang tidak pernah notice, kalau tidak pernah istilahnya lihat, oh, seperti menyadari hal itu.
But also, most people will notice if it's not there.
Oh. Tapi orang-orang juga tidak menyadari bahwa dia itu ada di situ gitu loh.
And we could see the difference. We're like, oh yeah, that looks more real. That looks fake.
Ya. Jadi itu yang membuatnya orang akan lihat, oke ini real, ini yang palsu. Gitu.
So you press W.
Pencet W. Nah, ini
Wih,
videonya.
iya. Gila.
This whole thing, 1,000 polygons.
Oh,
Yeah.
Betul.
It's 1,000 polygons.
Oh, jadi semua ini cuma 1000 poligonnya.
That's it.
1000 ya? Oh.
And I know every one of you is way more than that.
I tell them to make a game model for character
Yeah.
is
Wih, mana ya?
50,000.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000. Everything.
This one is 1,000. Jadi kalau yang saya bilang kalau karakter yang sekarang kalian bikin kan 50.000, bener nggak?
Iya.
Kalau ini zaman dulu bisa jadi seperti ini cuma 1000. Jadi poligonnya itu cuma 1000 aja gitu.
So ultimate, the answer is you need to learn how everything works and then use only what you need.
Oke, jadi intinya adalah kamu harus belajar segalanya dan kamu butuhkan apa yang kamu butuhkan aja, gitu. Kamu kerjakan apa yang kamu butuhkan aja. Jadi nggak semuanya itu harus detail, polinya harus banyak, itu nggak perlu seperti itu sebenarnya.
And tell the teacher if he sends me an email, if he can contact you, I'll send free key codes so that you can have this for free.
Oke, jadi nanti semua guru sini semua for all students also.
Sure.
Jadi kalian semua nanti email ke saya atau email kalian kasih ke Yavi. Nanti Ki akan kasih semua kode ini ke kalian gratis.
Wah. Biasa.
So that's useful. Any other questions? All good?
We go to lunch.
I don't want to see.
Iya. Wis.
Oh, yes, it is.
Wis.
Oh, you said it's your 20 years ago. How about the prison?
Where have I been recently? I could show them, that would scare them.
Dia sudah tunjuk namanya kan membuat kalian takut sih.
Just time.
Oke. Oke.
The robot is the scary one for me.
Yeah.
When you told me.
I still do some scary.
Akuariumnya.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly.
I like this school because they have a robot. So maybe I can explore the robot also.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I believe this is a future.
Oh, it is. Although that robot's past.
Yeah.
It's they need to be careful. Yeah.
But I don't want like something before. I don't want robot from military. I want to make robot to help someone.
Yeah, exactly.
To get make a life better. I'll change the way robots right now. Stop thinking about robots as robots. Just think about making one arm. Just one arm. One arm. Now imagine if you can make one arm, you can make two arms. If you can make two arms, you can attach them in your kitchen and it can cook for you. You can attach it to the back of your car and it will put things into the car for you. You don't need a robot with wheels. Most robots will just be arms everywhere. I'm telling you, this will happen. Yes?
Kita no Pati.
Are you joining us?
Oke. Siap.
dari internet dari email dari juga teman-teman yang dari sini semuanya selamat siang, selamat sejahtera untuk semuanya. Alhamdulillah kita bantuan pemerintah hari ini kita kehadiran tamu ya, tamu dari internet dan ini adalah bekerja sama kita dengan Pak Roy dan bisa menghadirkan tamu yang nanti teman-teman dan juga anak bisa membuka wawasan tentang dunia secara umum ya, atau teknologi secara yang berkembang di masa depan. Jadi tadi kita sudah keliling beberapa jurusan. Yang saya tahu beliau ini dari IT, ternyata tahu juga tentang kelas, tentang mesin, mesin bubur,
Otomotif.
robot. Nah, jadi ini multi
Ilmuwan.
talenta. Gak apa-apa dikasih dulu tak sama saya. Jadi beliau punya pengetahuan yang luar biasa. Jadi anak-anak yang tinggal di sini dan nanti bisa menanyakan hal-hal yang apa yang beliau kerjakan. Beliaunya ini tidak menetap dari satu negara. Ini yang saya ambil hikmah ini. Ternyata dia dari mana-mana, tapi dia punya usaha juga dalam satu negara. Tapi dia bisa mengendalikan mana dia mengelilingi dunia ini dengan nyaman. Nah ini yang kalau di kita kan belum bisa ya. Anak-anak ini juga masih sebenarnya ada di Jawa Tengah terus, ada di Pati terus. Nah ini kita buka wawasan kita bahwa kita ini berada sekarang ini kita boleh mendunia dengan berbekal kemampuan intelektual kita. Jadi anak-anak nanti apa yang walaupun kamu masih usia sekarang, tapi setidaknya bukan punya anak-anak besar untuk sampai ke sana. Karena apa, dunia itu kan kalau dilihat di apa itu bola global itu kan ya segitu kan, berarti kan kecil ya. Jadi kamu bisa mencapainya untuk keliling. Tapi kita tidak hanya beranak-anak, tapi bagaimana kita bisa mewujudkan impian. Jadi masing-masing harus punya impian. Saya besok ingin kerja di luar negeri, di mana yang mampu. Tapi kamu tidak hanya berbekal keinginan toh, tapi punya kemampuan. Yang jelas dari bahasa kamu harus mampu. Di sini ada buku bahasa Inggris yang kamu bisa belajar dengan baik. Bisa kamu japrian dengan beliau-beliaunya bagaimana menggunakan bahasa Inggris yang baik. Ini juga dari teman-teman bahasa Inggris bagaimana besok kurikulum itu tidak hanya tesis dan lain-lain, tapi bagaimana bisa mengapresiasi langsung bisa berkomunikasi dengan baik. Cuma hari ini ada anak juga yang mau berbincang-bincang dengan bahasa Inggris sangat luar biasa. Mereka itu sebelumnya, nanti sebelum dari tamu kita, mungkin Pak Roy akan juga menyampaikan hal-hal yang terkait dengan situasi atau terkait dengan tamu kita di siang hari ini. Mereka itu waktu selanjutnya kami persilakan Pak Roy. Mereka tahu Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke ya, terima kasih ya. Harapan saya sih sebenarnya saya membawa Kicks ini supaya kalian bisa belajar sesuatu dari dia. Mungkin kalau yang kalian belum tahu profil dari Kini, dia memiliki banyak klien di seluruh dunia, termasuk Pixar, DreamWorks, kemudian military dari US, itu dimana dia juga bikin sistemnya untuk itu. Kemudian ada juga kasino, entertainment, TV, itu dia bikin toolsnya. Kalau tadi di animasi dia sempat menunjukkan bahwa ada satu skill saver yang dia buat 20 tahun lalu, di mana 20 tahun lalu dengan hasil yang luar biasa gitu. Itu padahal 20 tahun lalu, mungkin nanti dia akan jelaskan lagi gitu. Software yang dia buat 20 tahun lalu itu seperti itu. Nah, mungkin kalian bagi generasi yang muda bisa berpikir bahwa oke, kalau 20 tahun lalu seperti itu, berarti generasi kita sekarang harus bikin lebih bagus dari itu gitu. Jadi jangan bikin sama, tapi lebih bagus dari itu. Itu yang paling penting gitu sih. Oke, ini kok dari saya seperti itu. Semoga kalian bisa menikmati, bertanya apapun itu kalian bertanya, termasuk robotik, manufacture, mungkin yang tadi yang tentang alat-alat berat segala macam, kalian bisa bertanya aja gitu. Oke, itu sih dari saya. Sisanya saya kembalikan ke Bu Eni untuk kita buka.
Terima kasih. Ini langsung dibagi berarti ya. Jadi sebelumnya mungkin bisa menyampaikan hal-hal yang terkait dengan kemampuannya atau kompetensinya supaya nanti bisa bertanya.
Screen saver bisa. Itu belum ada software 3D dia sudah menciptakan.
First of all, I just would like to say to you about what Bu Eni, she is Bu Eni, so I say Bu Eni, told you that she is impressed with you because you are multitasking, multi-skills. But when you went around in some departments in this school, you are so familiar with all skills. So not only Bu Eni, but also me myself, so impressed with this. So for this situation or for this occasion, we would like you to present your curriculum vitae so that we know well about you before you deliver main material about what we are going to discuss in this meeting. Thank you. Yeah. Please welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you mind helping? You should actually break that into pieces for me. Yeah, so what should I address first? What should I speak to first? Tell me. You can tell me what specifically what I do today. That's confusing, but I can explain.
Okay, it's called a software design.
We're talking about the past, the present.
Okay, I think yeah.
Okay, so I'll explain what I do nowadays. Okay, some of that. I have a simple one.
Yeah.
So
Would
you
you please use your microphone?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. 1, 2, good. Little is on. That's on. Okay, stop. What I just did there is how I get everything done. I'll take the good one, you fix that. That's pretty good. I'm done. Whatever I'm training like that. When you spoke, when they responded, everyone responded at the same time. What were they saying? I didn't catch that part. So she was speaking. And at the very end, they all spoke at the same time, the same words. What were they saying? It may be so obvious to you, you don't even notice it. But yeah, when she was finished speaking, everyone said something. It was like a prayer or a thank you or something. I don't know. But what was everyone saying at the same time? You don't know? Interesting. So everyone here spoke when she was finished talking. They all talked at the same time. Everyone started saying the same thing at the same moment. What was that? What were they saying?
It's like
It's like a prayer. Yeah, okay. Okay. So they were thanking her, but thanking everyone. Okay. Yeah, okay. It took me a moment. Everyone's responding? Okay. Okay, so he has asked me to tell you what I do now, which is tricky to explain. And before I do, I will tell you, there is a, computer, but there's a comic writer, and it's called XKCD. Look it up, XKCD. He makes comics. And he points out the things that are silly in technology. But he also came up with something interesting about communication, which is, what would you say if you only could use the 1,000 most common words? So you don't get any, those, machinery, nope, can't use that word. Cell phone, nope, no. But cup, yes. Hand, yes. Face, yes. So 1,000, 1,000, it's not. So it's an experiment. I do this often still. One day, I tried to write clearly what I do with 1,000 most common words. And I couldn't explain. It took so many words, pages and pages and pages, because what I do is therapy for other people to understand what makes them think and stress. So my actual title, I'm a cognitive computer scientist. I think about machines that think like humans. So what do we do with that? We build robots. We build self-driving cars. Image recognition. Text recognition. While you spoke, it was translating to English. I did follow. You watched. I followed a lot of it. Because this is using a neural network, which is artificial intelligence. But the part that I do, the part I care about, is understanding the reason why people do what they do. I want to know why. And there is a specific area that I focus on. And I chose this one area because it's the most important thing I can do. There's many things I cannot do. There are many things I'm not good at. But I can help others that can't see their own problems. So I do therapy. So I will sit down with this gentleman and say, what is causing you stress? He will say, people are working too slow, people don't talk to each other. And I'll think to myself, okay, so we'll start with people talking to each other. You talk right now in Discord. Use Discord, speaking to each other, one of the chat systems. And that's okay. It probably is best at this moment, but is it best to me? No. Because Discord doesn't have a system to hold people accountable to what they say. Someone says, I will give this to you tomorrow. And then tomorrow he forgets, everyone forgets, we forget. But what if when you typed, I will give this to you tomorrow, instantly calendar, instantly task, and when tomorrow comes, when this doesn't appear, sends him a message, they did not do their job. So now they can see a little better. That's what I mean by accountability. We also need transparency. Transparency means he sees it, I see it, she sees it, she sees it. Any one of us can see the problem, and any one of us can fix the problem faster. Teamwork. And so there, teamwork. I agree. Americans, not so much teamwork. It's very, very hard to get teamwork. There's some good, there's some bad. A lot of bad. So it still comes back to the problem. He needs that there tomorrow. And if it's not there, he doesn't get paid, and then he can't pay us. So we all suffer. Teamwork also means we all suffer together. No one likes to put that on the wall. We all suffer together. That's really important to me. Okay, so now you all know software, calendar, tasks, great. Level 1. In my world, level 1. Level 2. That message, when this doesn't show up, that message goes to him, still takes his time. He has to go, oh, you didn't get it. Yeah, why are you not putting the glass here? Okay, when will you do it? Next day. No, 2 days have gone by. What I want is a machine that watches this, watches her, watches me, watches you, and learns. And it sees, oh, you're upset. You're wasting time. You're doing this when you should be making your next deal. She should be teaching English, but she's sitting here watching if the glass shows up. Wasting time. Everyone is now doing this, but a machine could be watching everyone and making it faster. Now, that's my goal. But why? Why am I doing this? What am I applying it to? This is very simple. Level 3. I want to use this to solve an important problem. And I'm very upfront about this. In America, I state this to the people around me. And it's a little scary for them what I want to do. Some people are very scared of this concept. I have an issue, a problem, with the idea of a human judging other humans. And I mean a judge in a court judging humans. We let someone, you are now in charge, you're the judge, you have the hammer, you're an attorney, you represent them, and you're an attorney, and you represent them, and you two fight. This is the judge. But when I look at cases, when I look at people fighting, he might side with them. See, look, he's the judge and he wears that shirt, and 2 people wear that same shirt. There's one person on your team, you have a shirt, you might be in agreement with him, because you're wearing the same shirt. But there's 2 here and 1 there. Which are you going to win?
2.
Probably them.
2.
Right. I see this happen for real in court. And when I see that, every court, here, America, Germany, France, every court, same. I don't care what it is, same problem, humans are the problem. What if up here, it knows about this and this and that and that, and it starts to understand, wait, shirt color does not matter. Tell me the facts. What did you do? What did you do? Write it all down. The machine looks at that,
And the machine doesn't have to make the final decision, it has to explain the decision. Why is it making the choice for you and not them? And it should show that as a tree. We should look at that as humans and look at that and go, okay, so you're no longer, you're out, no judge, machine. And we all together, maybe a room full of, you go to another room with many judges, and you look at the results, blind, you don't get to see their shirts. You don't get to see any of this. You see the data. And now you say, do you agree with the machine? You go, okay, yeah. They had a cow, they took some of the milk, they want money for this, okay. You don't hear about the shirts, you don't hear who's on the team. I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to know those things unless it's important. It has to be explained. Oh yeah, he wears the same shirt. Why are you telling me this? Why do I care? You look at the data, a group, and then you can agree with the machine. So I'm not saying the machine's in charge. I'm saying the machine explains it. It's a mirror. It holds a mirror to our face. Oh, that's what it looks like. So it holds a mirror to you as a judge and says, make your decision with all the other judges for truth. That's what I'm working on. And I'm using artificial intelligence to build that. And right now, you need to go make it. Right now, I spend my time with the attorneys. And in America, they're scary to other Americans. In my world, when I talk to them, I scare them. And the way I scare them is I say, I hear your logic, you tell me how you're going to defend them. You're wrong. You're focused on the wrong thing, and it's biased, and it's not helping your team. And I look at your team and the same. And I ask, now we come back to therapy. What is your stress? So I'm not a therapist, I'm not even good with people, but I understand the mechanisms of stress. What stresses Roy? Time, money, making sure it looks good, quality. He worries about these things. Everyone who runs a business worries about these things. He's in entertainment. I own entertainment companies, so I know even better. I know exactly what he goes through every day. We've done the very same thing. And it gives you an insight. So a lawyer deals with one thing. Roy, 5 things. A lawyer just has to get in front of the judge and present the case. It's really one thing. They have one focus. Don't misrepresent, don't lie. That's obvious. Don't do any of that. Build your case. But what if the machine doesn't just judge the case? I'm going to give you a computer, a machine. I'm going to give you a computer, and you have the same information. And so as you're building your case, the machine says, why are you talking about his shirt? And why are you mentioning 2 shirts? The machine will say, that's not important to the case. This is real. The examples I just gave, this really happens. It brings up points. Why are you doing this? But I'm starting at level 2. What I spend most of my time doing is I help the lawyers in a real lawsuit, really in front of a judge, and I help them. And so for years, I would be you might call it an expert. I'm a forensic expert. They show me the case, but as a human, I look at it like a puzzle, and I go, that. They go, what is that? That is wrong. Fix that, better case. I've done 44 cases. I've lost 0. I win everything. Because I study, and then I look at the enemy, I'll pretend I'm on their side. He hires me. I look at all his data, I interview each one of them. I interview you and I say, why are you wearing their shirt? And then I find out you're part of that. Yeah. Why we make decisions. So game theory is understanding what you think, and he needs to know what you, and you need to know what he thinks, and both of you need to know what the judge thinks. And so we write all that out, and we keep asking over and over again, what's he thinking? And if you do this, and I'm helping you, you bring him. Now what does the judge think? You answer. This is game theory. And when it all comes out, you win or you win. That's the end, there. That's what I'm working on. I have this live. We use my software in real cases, and we track everything. But my system does one more thing. It's kind of a living thing. We call it gavel. I named it after the hammer that they use in a court. So it's cute. Gavel. Gavel speaks. Gavel talks to us. Gavel does something important. Gavel reads everything. It reads every document, everything you write, everything you write. When you write to him, it reads it, and it starts to understand what's being said. And that, right now, we would say the phrase nascent stage. So like level 1, nascent, just starting. I think of this as like a baby. But every day, it learns a few things. Today, for real, today, it learned something in a meeting. I was in a meeting at 5:30 a.m. A lawyer in the meeting. And they were describing a sentence in a document. And I looked at the sentence, and I said, whenever this comes in, make a flag, make a task, warn the team to pay attention. And then we program that into Gavel. It now understands and starts to learn bit by bit. One day, maybe a couple of years from now, 5 years from now, Gavel will tell you instantly who's going to win. Probably before you even start. It will tell you you're going to win. And it's going to tell you you're not going to win. But it will tell you why. If it's not telling you why, that's what you should be scared of. Be scared of computers. You don't know how they make their decision. But if you can see how they make their decision, that's okay. Because then we can look at it and figure out what's not going to kill us. If you can't see the code, if you can't see the logic, those are the robots to be scared of. We must make all of the information, especially for robots, open for everybody to see. We must know how it makes its decision. So that is, when you think of scary robots, to me the only scary robot is a human who I don't know, not a machine, because the human is the first problem. If you know them, they're more open to you, and you have less fear. Same for robots. Anything you think is going to be scary about a robot, first ask, is it scary in a human? That too is game theory. Understanding who is the enemy, who's the actual enemy. And small note, him, they're friends. Even in lawsuit, they're friends. They went to school together, and now they must fight, and you must do the best job for them, and you must do the best job for them. You understand this? But there's something more. I tend to pick cases where the person who's in front of the judge is hated by everyone. Because, and this is a point I make often, I will be telling you this, and I'm going to tell this many times in the future to everyone. I'm just starting to explain this to people. It's easy to be a judge in a case that the person did something simple. But if the teacher here in the white shirt, what is her name? Louder? Yavi murdered 10 cats. Yeah, now everyone doesn't like you so much. And 2 puppies. But now you're hated. And you still have the same job. And you have the same, in fact, you might work together to represent him. It doesn't even matter if he's guilty or if he's innocent. You do the same job. And that's the only way to prove it. The only way to have truth in law is both of you must defend him as if he's the most important person that you love and care for. This is your brother, even though he did something very bad. You must do it. And if you can't, you shouldn't be his attorney. And if our court system doesn't allow him to have the best representation, if it fails him, think how much it's going to fail you and you and me and everyone else all the time. So I'm going to use a different example. This one's quick. And I think this example is true in every country. At some point, you've seen or you know someone who got pulled over by the police. And sometimes they might give you a ticket. Sometimes they might arrest you. Sometimes they might let you go. If they're allowed to make that, decision, we don't need that feedback. Maybe it's a phone system. If a police officer can make that decision on their own, they can decide whether to give you a ticket or to let you go, we have a problem. We have a problem because the police officer is now the judge. I don't want the police officer pulling you over because you're wearing that shirt. And he might do this. He might arrest you. Go. He hates them. He hates all three of them. And he sees you wearing the same shirt. Give you the ticket. And the lady next to you, she's not wearing that shirt. She goes free. Even that, not acceptable to me. I don't know how to fix all of these problems, but I know some of them. Build the machine, have it watch, have it analyze and weigh, and you'll get closer and closer to an actual fair system. So as you can tell, my system, I'm not asking for it to be in charge, but this is what I work on. And it's very serious. The good news is we have a lot of fun doing it because most of the cases are small, we're helping somebody, we get to watch things go quickly, and I use the word byproduct as an extra advantage. I'm solving the scariest problem, and his problem is easy now. Down here, he needs this here, this on time, easy. Your world is so much simpler than a lawsuit. And that's my goal. Then we build some intelligence for everybody and for all companies. Okay, that's where I'll stop. Now it's a little scary, but now you can see what I spend my day actually thinking about is this. I look at lawsuits, how people are mistreated. I travel around to see it with my own eyes. I don't want to hear people's opinions. In America, they tell me about Chinese torturing people. I went there. I didn't see it. They weren't hiding it from me. I went everywhere. Didn't see it. I see some things. I saw some bad things, not that. In America, you'll hear horrible things. I'll go there in person. I'll fly right to it, see it with my own eyes, bring my own camera. They can't stop me. When I get there, not what was claimed, not what was in the news, over and over again. The truth is different. So this is why I do all this. I want to see everything. I want to talk to myself. I want to interview, and hopefully I'll learn. And then he'll gain an advantage. I'll gain an advantage. We all gain an advantage. I want companies to succeed, and I want us to stop worrying about tasks. I want to get to goals, making things, art, new technologies, smaller phone. That's what's important. We should all be making the future that we want, not process and paperwork and logs and signing things off, handing money back and forth. Waste of time. We need to move forward. And together, I'm not talking about a country, planet. I don't care about countries. I know they're there. I just don't care. They get in my way sometimes. There's walls. I have to give them paperwork, and then the other side paperwork. Waste of time. So, focus on that. Focus on the goals, not the tasks. Okay, now ask a simpler question. Ask me something simpler. That's that's complex.
Why did you do that?
Why do we do that thing?
Yeah. It's a simple question. Everybody's scared right now.
I can explain the answer to this. This will sound a little, you have to translate this. This will sound more heady than it actually is. It's not. But I did hear the story of the Buddha. I'm not religious, but I heard the story of the Buddha. And what I took away from the story of the Buddha was that the Buddha was actually a wealthy prince, had everything at his feet,
Yeah.
And he said, leaves it all. Okay, I'm not anywhere able to do that. But it did give me an idea. I do have advantages. Where I live, what I speak, what I look like, money that I have. Yep, I've got advantages. I like the idea of using these advantages the other way. I'm not here to build a company and take something from Indonesia. I don't charge for anything. I'm not selling anything. I don't try to give you books. I don't try to convince you of anything. There's nothing for me to give to you that way. What else would I spend my life doing? Is how I think of it. What else is there to do? What would you suggest I do other than this? Make money? I have money. I don't have time. I value my time. I am happy. I'm already happy. People think, oh, be happy. I'm happy. I have a great life. I'm very happy. I enjoy everything I do. I get to see amazing things, talk to amazing people, and eat. I'm hungry for Thai food. I fly to Thailand. I eat Thai food. I don't need to go there to get Thai food. I go there to get Thai food. Okay? I like Thai food. So, I can do anything I want. If I can do anything I want, well, then it becomes a new problem. So what should I do? I have decided, well, I'll fix things. What else is there to do? I have friends that are like me. They do nothing. And I tell them, you do nothing. In fact, I will say this. I have a friend. His grandfather is very famous here, but in the whole world. I'm not going to mention who this is, but his grandfather created an entire Nobel Prizes, wins awards, blah, blah, blah. The grandson, friend of mine, this is many years ago. He was working at Google at the time. And he started playing poker. Cards.
Poker.
I used to design slot machines, casino machines, gambling. I don't gamble. I've never gambled. I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I've never had a sip. I've never had a cigarette. Never coffee. No drugs. Nothing. No gambling. I've had to build. I've built the machines that gamble. I don't gamble myself. I don't care. He's playing poker. And he's winning. He's in Wikipedia. He won all sorts of things. He's very good at it. He's super mind. And I looked at him. Everyone, all the friends, complimented him. Oh, you do so well with poker. And I said something I can't repeat to you. Blah, blah, blah. Bad words. You're useless. What? You're useless. Obviously, you will win in poker. I will win in poker. I can count 4 card decks and remember every card in the place. That's not fair to you. Want to play cards with me? No. I tell people want to pay me money to play with them. And I have to, you do understand, I'm going to take your money. This is not a good use of my time. It was not a good use of his time. I said to him, you talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you until you stop this silly stuff and make something. Today, he has built a company, and he is now I'll describe just what he's doing. You decided to look him up. He is building new governances within countries. So he talks to the leaders of a given country, talks to their lawyers, talks to the politicians, and says, we're going to create a zone, and we're not going to use your laws and your rules, but your people. And we're going to change things to see if there can be a better system. China does this on its own. Shenzhen, which is the place I often live, Shenzhen is a zone, it's an economic zone, and everything is different there. If you cross the street, China. Inside, Shenzhen. You can build businesses, you can trade money. Outside, no. Inside, yes. He's doing this everywhere, going country by country, and saying, how do we make a country better? What was he doing yesterday? Poker. Now, he's fixing things, and he's asking, what are the best rules, best laws, so that people are happy and safe? Now, I'm interested. Now I help him. So, around me, similar. So you thought it was a simple question. Why? Well, what else? Play poker? For money? I don't need money. So, yeah, And I asked everyone around me who makes money, why? Elon Musk, he can be done, he doesn't need his money. He keeps inventing something new. Same reason. We're all the same. We're going to keep making things no matter what. That's it. We want to make the world better. Not everyone's going to see that the same way. You may disagree with Bill Gates or Elon Musk or whomever. Sure. But just remember, they are trying. They could just take all the money and stay home. If they're out and they're trading money, we all win. You want money moving between different places. So actually, I'm going to mention one more thing, because I think we discussed it in the car, and this is about education, very important. I will tell you, honestly, which you won't get from anyone else, because see, I have nothing to lose. What's Indonesia's worst problem? From my point of view, yeah, you're trying on everything, but in your government, they're making a decision that's hurting you. It's a very simple one, very boring. This is very expensive here, very cheap where I am. And here's why that's bad. You, students, I want every one of you to have a laptop. I want every one of you to have cell phones, 2 cell phones, headsets, power, projectors. I want every one of you, and as young as possible, to have as much technology and at the cheapest price. Why? Because you'll do more with it than we will. We're old. We are only as good as when we learned. But you, when you touch this, you'll go, hey, I can make this smaller. And you'll make it smaller. I can make this cheaper, and you'll make it cheaper. And so my complaint, and this complaint I started before I even landed in Indonesia, it was one of my first conversations was, I was asking someone here why they could only talk to me for 20 minutes at a time. And it was because their battery was failing. And I said, well, why don't you add a bigger battery to the back of your phone? He said, oh, and they told me the price. And I went, they're basically free where I am. They're cheaper than a meal. I can pick this up for $5, which is nothing, same with food. So I brought one with me for them, because it was cheap. Here, have this. Indonesia has a strange relationship with China, India, and other places, and they have tariffs that make your electronics expensive. It sounds like we're talking about electronics. We're not. We're talking about students and access to information, knowledge, exchange, communication, international communication, and invention. Kind of important to me. Invention, make things better. So that is why I care about that one thing. We fix that one thing. Indonesia grows fast. In the next 10 years, think about 10 years ago. Think about 10 years in the future. What does Indonesia look like? Where are you against China? Well, China will own everything. I keep telling Americans, you understand, they win. So be nice. Seriously, be nice to the Chinese. They win. But we should be with them. We should work with them. We should work with them, and we should have trade with them. America, same thing. I have to have the same conversation in America, slightly different. We get things cheap, but they think China is becoming the enemy. Don't think of the Chinese as the enemy. Be friends. Be nice. Don't get in their way. It'll be okay. They want the same thing. So I'm saying right now, as educators, as children, and your children, as you get older, have children, you want them to have the best technology. Once you have that, it's humans. It's you, me, you, the teacher, people who teach. That doesn't go away. We still do the same job, whether we have this or we don't have this. We're going to do the same job. So you're going to have that tomorrow.